All right, let's get back to this problem. Okay, so remember we need to solve for a single variable. If you look at that first equation, I've got 4x and a negative x on the other side. That doesn't give me 1x overall. Along with the y, I have 1y on the left, but I have 7y on the right, so that's not very good either. Let's look at the second equation. I have 2x's on the left and none on the right, so that's a little bit nicer, but I do have just a single y on the right. So I'm going to solve that second equation for y. So the first thing I want to do is combine like terms, so x plus x equals 2x. Subtract 3, subtract 3. So therefore I'm going to have 2x minus 3 equal to y. I'm going to take that and throw it in up top into the first equation. So I'm going to have 4 parentheses 2x minus 3 plus, oh, I'm not going to have that. So I'm going to have 4x plus 2x minus 3 plus 1 is equal to 7 times 2x minus 3 minus x. So combine like terms. That gives you 6x minus 2 is equal to 7 times 2 gives you 14x minus 7 times 3 minus x. I'm going to combine these like terms. So that gives me 6x minus 2 is equal to 13x minus 21. All right, next thing, let's, oh my goodness, that is kind of yucky. All right, so the next thing I want to do is get all the terms on one side. So I'm going to do this in one step. Add 21 and subtract 6. Subtract 6. X. So that gives me 19 is equal to 7x. Did I make a mistake somewhere? Maybe not. Divide by 7. Divide by 7. I know that x is equal to 19 sevenths. And there are going to be fraction problems. So don't panic about that. Let me just double check that I did that correctly. X minus 3 plus 1. And then I have 7 times 2x minus 3 minus x. Okay, looks good. All right, yes, it's a fraction. It's not a big deal. You'll just have to work with it. So I'm going to go back to this equation, try to find out what y is. So I'm going to throw in, oops, 2 times 19 sevenths minus 3 equals yy. Remember, this is over 1. We can make this 1. We probably want to make this sevenths. So multiply it by those both by 7. 2 times 18 equals 38 over 7 minus 21 over 7 equals my y. 38 minus 1 equals, or 38 minus 21 equals 17 sevenths y. And you are now in big kid math, so you leave them both as improper fractions. You literally enter them in like this. Do not make it a mixed fraction. Oops. Do not make it 2 in so many sevenths. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's move on to this one. Look at that. That doesn't look so bad. All right, these are both been solved for y. So you know what you do? You just literally take 3x plus 7 and set it equal to 5x plus 8. Okay? Get the x's on one side, the numbers on the other. So I'm going to subtract 3x and subtract 8. So I get -1 equals -2x. Divide by -2, divide by -2. Therefore, x equals -1/2, or +1/2. All right, now let's throw that in to a y equation. So y is equal to 3 times 1/2 plus 7. All right, let me make that into 1. I'm going to multiply this by 2, this by 2. So y is equal to, put that over 1, so that's 3/2 plus 14 halves. So y is equal to 17 halves. So your solution will be 1/2, 17 halves. Makes me think I did a mistake here. Maybe I even copied that problem wrong, because I don't think you'll get quite such nasty fractions on this particular one. They're going to give you typically nicer fractions like halves, thirds, fourths to work with. So be very careful when you copy problems down that you don't end up with ugly like I did. All right, my next problem. Remember, I need to isolate x or y. Do I have a single x or a single y in equation 1? The answer is no. Do I have a single x or a single y in equation 2? The answer is yes, I have a single y. So I'm going to copy -4x equals y plus 8. Solve for y. So I get -4x minus 8 is equal to y. I now can plug that into equation 1. So I have 8x plus 2 parentheses -4x minus 8 equals 15. Okay, so I'm going to distribute, and that's going to give me -8x. 2 times -8 is going to give me -16 is equal to 15. Combine like terms, leaving me x minus 8x minus 8x gives you -16, which equals 15. Okay, when you get this, this is not a true statement. Okay, -16 never equals 15. Not true. So that means no solution. Okay, another thing you might come across is you might come across something that looks like 3 equals 3 or 0 equals 0. Those are both true solutions, correct? Those are true, okay? And that tells you you have infinitely many solutions. So if you get either one of these options, it can happen that there is no solution, or there's infinitely many solutions. And so like with graphing, that's like the line on top of the line, okay? And over on the left, the no solution is where they're parallel lines when you were graphing. So see if you can make those connections. Don't panic if something like this happens, that you can't solve for x or y. That's because it means there's infinitely many solutions or there's no solution. Please email me if you have any questions.